Thanks, man. Thanks, kitty cat.
I'll wait for you to shut the door before we start.
Okay. Yeah, I really like that mascara though.
Yeah, it's good, right?
Yep. Actually, I put it on tonight because you're supposed to put mascara on before you put the lashes on so it sticks to something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then I put more on after I put the lashes on.
Okay. Welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
Lori's out sick tonight.
Yeah, she called in sick.
Yeah. So she's not
Don't worry, she'll get paid for it.
Yeah. Maybe we'll pay her double her normal rate.
Definitely double her normal rate. For sure. For sure.
How was your week?
My week was good. I'm trying to think of anything. Nothing, outstanding, but that's good.
Yeah, sometimes not outstanding is good.
Exactly.
Mine was good. I had a short week. I took off yesterday to have a girls' day. So that was good.
Yeah.
Just to get out and have fun.
Yeah, that's always good.
Yes.
We need that.
We definitely need that. So we're going to do some Would You Rathers.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather become a famous dancer or a famous singer?
I'm definitely going singer.
I think I'm going to go singer too.
Yeah, I like to sing.
I'm not really that coordinated.
I'm not either. Although at weddings, when there's open bar,
no, who cares?
we're all, Paula Abdul out there.
Yeah, exactly. Would you rather publicly embarrass yourself or your entire family? I'm going to say myself. My family's going to say I do it to them every week when we do this podcast. So
I feel like my family embarrasses me enough.
There you go.
So you know what? I'll put it on them that time.
Okay. Would you rather live stream your life or anyone hear your thoughts?
That's a hard one.
I'd say anyone hear my thoughts. I don't think my thoughts are all. I'm pretty much an open book.
I'm gonna say that too because my what I gave up for Lent was negative thoughts.
Oh.
So as soon as I get a negative thought, I push it right out of my head.
Okay.
I don't give it any of my time.
That's good.
And if I live streamed my household, nobody would even believe it.
Yeah, there'd be people knocking on the door, I'm
For sure.
Me too.
With cuffs. And I might happily go with them.
Yeah, I hear you. A little peace and quiet.
Exactly.
No, sometimes it's needed.
3 square meals a day. Yeah.
Would you rather give up your phone or wear Crocs for the rest of your life?
You know where I'm going.
You're wearing Crocs for the rest of your life. You are wearing Crocs for the rest of your life.
I'll even put those little fucking things in them.
The little gibbets.
I'm not giving up my phone.
I don't want to give up my phone either. Not for the rest of my life. So I'll go with the Crocs too.
Yeah.
I mean, they have all new ones now. They're not good. I mean, we can make it work.
We can make it work. We can make it work.
We can bedazzle our Crocs.
And we would be super comfortable.
We would be. We would be. Okay, would you rather it be summer forever or winter forever? I really don't like forevers, but if I have to pick one, I'm going to pick summer because I really like the sun. And not that there's not sun in the winter, but here in Gray, New Jersey, there's not a lot of sun in the winter.
Yeah, I agree. And I have to be honest with you. First of all, I love Christmas. Obviously, it's my favorite holiday. I love it. However, I'll do Christmas in July. I'm going to do summer forever. I used to be a winter person. I am so cold all the time right now. And, I have a small house. It doesn't take much to heat it up. I'm just always cold.
I think it has to do with aging.
I do too. I do too. So I'll take summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're both agreeing on that.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the finale of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. It was episode 17, season 13.
Oh, 17 episodes?
Yep, 17. And I heard the finale is going to be, or the reunion is going to be 3 parts.
Oh, I would assume so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how much we can talk about Maurizio and Kyle because I feel like that's all we're going to be talking about.
Well, no, you mean at the reunion?
Yeah.
No, I feel like there's going to be other stuff.
Yeah?
I do. I hope so. I mean,
yeah.
it's
I guess.
I don't know. All right, so we start out with Kyle and Erika at SoFi Stadium planning the white party.
Yeah, it was nice to see Kevin Lee.
It was nice to see she Kevin Lee. And I like that he did it for her.
Yeah.
She normally does it at her house, or she's never done it at this big event like this.
But she's always had a party planner. That guy.
Yes.
he's got dark hair, like a little overweight. Like he was always at
Yes.
her party. He was always her party
Yes.
planner. So I wonder why. Maybe because this was such a big venue.
I think she had said. I think they might have. I think Andy might have asked her on Watch What Happens Live. I think he was busy,
Okay.
and so
That was a big.
It was a big event.
That was a big event.
It was a big
so
event.
I mean, bringing in the big guns, Kevin Lee, was a good move.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah.
I liked that we next saw Sutton with her daughter.
It was beautiful.
She's beautiful. Like, we've not really seen her interact with her daughter.
She was on an episode, I forget, like I think her first season, somebody came to her house and she introduced her.
Yes.
But that was it. But I'm
it.
sure maybe the ex-husband didn't want them to film. You know, I'm sure there's something with that. But her daughter's beautiful.
She is beautiful. She looks a lot like Sutton did.
Absolutely, with the dark hair.
Yeah, when she was younger. And then they're going shopping for jewelry. Which, I mean, what girl doesn't like to shop for jewelry?
Yeah, especially when your mother's buying, were they $65,000 or $85,000 those earrings?
$68,000.
$68,000. When your mom's buying $68,000 earrings for herself, like,
yeah.
All right, I'll tag along.
Yeah. And then I think
you're bound to get something.
I think she did buy the smaller ones for her daughter that she said she was going to give her, I guess, for graduation.
Yeah.
Which, that's nice.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see. So the party budget was $400,000, which is crazy.
Could you imagine?
No.
Having that to spend on a party?
No, but I do believe that her white party is always a fundraiser, right?
I didn't know that.
I think so. I think she does it as a fundraiser. I could be wrong. And if
probably.
Yeah. I mean, why wouldn't she?
Why wouldn't she? Yeah.
I mean, because she invites a lot of celebrities that, you know, can afford to donate. I think it is. She usually does it as a fundraiser. So, you know, it's a little investment into whatever the fundraiser's for.
Yeah.
And then Dorit's on FaceTime with PK, which, I mean, 25 days at that point he had been gone.
I swear I wrote it down. I think it's more than that.
Well, no, at the end, at
39.
39. At the end, they tell us.
At that point it was 25.
At that point it was 25.
Okay, got it.
But still, the 25 days,
it's a long time to be gone, especially when you have little kids. Like now, if Eric wanted to go away for 25 days, I'd be like,
go,
no problem,
have fun. Yeah. I don't understand what he's doing in London that he can't be doing here.
Is he working? Yeah, I mean,
that's
really,
what he says.
If COVID taught us anything, it's that pretty much everybody can work remote if you have that type of job, which I mean, if he's managing people's careers,
I would think he could
he could do it remote.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
I think it's a little suspect.
I do too.
So then Mo shows up at SoFi and he's walking around looking for Kyle. He was totally lost. Like, he had no idea. I mean, even the fact that she ran into one of his friends and his friend said that, like, Mo had no idea what was, like, he thought maybe it was in the parking lot. He had no idea.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, then they flash back to her talking to him the night before in the kitchen, explaining the whole thing. And he's just like, yeah, okay. But he wasn't really listening.
No.
And that's
sad.
sad.
Did you hear what Sutton said? Where's Mo? We've been looking for him since the memorial service.
Yeah, that was shady.
That was so good.
It was shady.
That was so good. Jeff Lewis was there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess they've made up though, because I know that she's.
Why did they have a falling out?
Yeah, they did. Well,
I feel like he has a falling out with a lot of people.
Yeah,
but
he had made a comment a while back on Watch What Happens Live about Kyle and Ozempic, and then there was another comment about Kyle and Morgan.
You know, I have to be honest with you. Kyle is such a small person.
She's tiny.
I don't think she ever took Ozempic. Why would she take Ozempic?
I don't think she did either. No, she's tiny.
Such a small person.
She's tiny. She's a tiny person.
And she's clearly into the gym.
Right. I don't think she did either.
I really don't.
She was never overweight. I never looked at Kyle and said, oh my gosh, she's overweight. But, you know, not drinking and working out, of course that's going to make you look...
Not drinking alone. Well, you know, I should try it, but I'm not. I'm not. But like Erika Jane, like I feel like she's built like us. Like she could, you know.
Yeah, she's a bigger girl.
Exactly.
She's got a bigger frame.
I mean, you're small.
I'm short.
Petite. I'm just saying, like Erika, she's built like me, where she can, you know. But so I mean, listen. There's no question about Erika, and I don't think she's denying it, the Ozempic thing either.
No,
Erika.
she. Well, I don't know that she will say I think she was going with the hormones.
Yeah.
She was saying
what Margaret
hormones.
said from Jersey.
Yeah.
They're full
Which
of
is
shit.
fine, whatever. Who cares?
Whatever. At this point, who cares? Just
Right.
admit it, for crying out loud.
Right, exactly. Who cares at this point?
Right.
So who's there? So there's Garcelle, Sutton, Dorit, Crystal, Anne-Marie, Faye Resnick's there, Jeff Lewis, Cynthia Bailey, Camille Grammer,
Denise Richards.
Denise
and her husband in
Richards,
jeans.
her in the jacket. That I was like, could they not get this right? I mean, it was a white party.
Honestly, I think that they're just such free spirits. I don't think they really pay close attention. And I don't think that Denise has a whole staff around her like these other women do, where they're like, no, Denise, you can't go like that. You got to wear white. Where like Kyle probably has a whole staff that's picking out her clothes and.
I mean, if Kyle's going to a white party, she
knows to wear white.
I mean,
Yeah.
pretty much everybody but Denise Richards knows when you go to a white party.
That is
you
true.
wear white.
Other than the cheerleaders, everybody else showed up in white.
Right. And then Erika's backstage with Mikey and her team getting ready.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're praying. That's the first time that they've really.
And Michael got.
Yeah.
Choked up.
I'm glad that she still has him in her corner.
It's nice that she has the same people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The guy who's been doing her hair, has been doing her hair, I think, since the show started.
Yeah.
Like, I remember seeing her in her closet at Girardi's house with him.
Yeah.
Not her closet, her dressing room.
Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. So I was glad to see that she has her whole team around her still. And, this is the first step for her going into her Vegas residency.
Yeah.
Which I would go to Vegas and see her for sure.
I would go see her. Yeah.
I mean, I wanted to see her when she
Especially
was
if they're $1 a ticket.
I wanted to see her when she was in Chicago, but then damn COVID happened.
Yeah.
And it got shut down.
Yeah.
So she does her performance. I thought her performance was excellent. I thought
me
killed
too.
it.
Yeah.
I really thought she killed it.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't see any mistakes. Like, she was being Erika Jane that we love.
Yeah. She was laser focused on that. Oh, how about Sutton saying that guy Steve ghosted her?
Yeah.
And then wound up calling her. I honestly think that guy was nervous to be on camera.
I could be.
Right?
It could be that. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of awkward.
Absolutely. Especially when you're first meeting somebody and on a date.
Yeah.
Super, super awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe,
So then what happens? So then we get, Dorit talks about the work that her and PK need to do. And now at this point, he's been gone for 39 days, which we mentioned that already.
Wow.
And then Dorit and Kyle haven't spoken since December. We find that out at the end, I guess, until the reunion was their first time talking.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've seen this all over social media, the text message.
Do you think that's a real text?
Oh, I definitely think it's a real text.
You do?
100% think it's a real text. I personally, I don't see it as manipulative.
I don't either. That's why I'm wondering, is it a real text?
No,
or
I
is
think
it something that Kyle's team put out to kind of...
No, I think it's 100% it's a real text.
Okay. Because Dorit makes it seem like, what'd she say? She's trying to silence me?
Yeah. Right. When I read the text, I didn't get that.
Well,
and Erika thought the same thing when she showed it to Erika.
Well, maybe they're thinking that because Kyle in the text says over and over that she's going through a hard time, she's been struggling. Maybe they're looking at it as manipulative, as in the sense that she's trying to play the victim now.
Like, don't come for me.
Right.
Listen,
However, you had out of everybody, Erika and Dorit have been the closest with Kyle. Out of the people left on the cast.
Right.
So if you really were struggling like that and all this time's gone past and you're not filming anymore, why would you wait until the day before the reunion to send that text message? If it was genuinely like, I'm struggling, I'm having a hard time, why didn't you do that before the reunion? That does seem like maybe it's manipulative to say, don't come for me, like you said.
I think that's kind of what their point was.
Yeah.
But it's funny because that's not how I think. Like, I wouldn't think that way.
No, because we wouldn't.
Right.
We would just be like, I'm struggling, I need my friend. Right.
And I don't know. I guess we're going to wait and see in the reunion because they feel a certain way about it.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to what Kathy has to bring
Yeah, like,
I don't
can't
understand
imagine.
why she's on it. I don't understand it. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I mean, on the Watch What Happens Live that night, and when Kyle was on, one of the questions was, would you do a show with Kathy and Kim? And Kyle said, well, the fans really want that. Like, they really
she did
want
say
that. And
but I don't see that. I see some people asking. To me, it's the same thing as the Teresa Melissa split. It's there. You have the same amount of people who want it compared to the same amount of people who don't want it.
yeah.
I don't think there's an overload of people begging for that. I think there's just as many people saying no.
Yeah, I guess, we'll have to see.
But if Bravo thinks it'll do well, Bravo will do it. But I firmly believe that will tear that family apart.
I don't think they need to do it. I don't think they need to
I don't think they need to do it unless they just do what the Kardashians do and just make up fake storylines and are basically acting on camera. Because that's what the Kardashians.
Yeah.
I think you see some things that are going on with the Kardashians.
No, but you don't, because they have full editing control.
Right.
And
so if the Hiltons did that, or the Hiltons, if they did that,
yeah.
But otherwise, if they truly do a reality show, I don't think that will be good for any one of them. And why would you want to put your sister, who is a recovering alcoholic, in that position to begin with? Because that's going to bring on so many more pressures for her. It's not a good idea.
I don't think it is either. And Kyle has said that, she wants to be happy. She wants to surround herself with people that make her happy, and she wants to, maybe leave LA. So if she leaves LA, then she's not going to be doing a show with her sisters, because that's where they are.
That's where they are.
So I guess we'll wait and see what happens.
Yeah.
Then Anne-Marie and Crystal have not interacted since the white party, which that is no surprise to me.
No.
I mean, I don't know if Anne-Marie's coming back.
I don't think she should. I don't think she was a good addition.
I would be surprised if she does.
I do honestly think she came in as Kyle's friend, and there was tension between Kyle and Sutton, and whether Kyle asked her to or Anne-Marie took it on herself. Anne-Marie went for Sutton unfounded and unnecessarily, and it just portrayed her in a bad light where fans weren't there for it. And it's interesting because I don't think Sutton's a big fan fave.
No, I don't think she is either.
But this made her more likable.
Yes, it did. And it was odd, though. They introduced her in episode 7.
Well, yeah.
I mean, that was odd.
It was odd, but I do think that had something to do with her husband, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. I wonder what happened prior to that, though. It's like the New York thing.
Right. Maybe they did filming and they had to cut it.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, it could be. We don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, so then Crystal has accepted that Jeff is going to live part-time in Thailand, and that he has a new girlfriend.
Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah.
Let the boy live.
Garcelle is basking in parenting and grandparenting, and her win of the Astra for the Black Girl Missing.
Oh, yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yep.
That was nice.
I still haven't watched it. I'll watch it.
Sutton is putting dating on hold, and she's going to focus on Santos, her horse.
Yeah.
Which, that's fine.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And then 1 month later, the news breaks that Kyle and Mo are separated.
So do you think they wrapped filming and started filming again?
They did.
Like a Vanderpump thing?
They did.
Okay.
They did.
Okay.
And I did think it was interesting that, all the ladies are sitting there talking about the news that broke, and they had no idea. And, Garcelle and Sutton are talking. And I thought it was interesting when Crystal was in the kitchen with her husband talking about it. And his theory was that Morgan leaked the story to people.
Oh, did he say that?
That's what he said.
That.
That's what he said. And Crystal's like, oh, now you're like producing, and listen, I don't think that's so far-fetched.
No, I don't either.
I don't think that's so far-fetched.
No.
Because
who knew who she was before this? Nobody. Well, I shouldn't say nobody. I'm sure people. She's a beautiful singer. I'm sure people knew who she was, but not like now.
No, not like now.
Come on.
Not like now.
Come on. And then they sit down with their girls.
Yeah. I mean, Kyle said that when the People article came out, they were all together. Like, they had no idea. They were totally blindsided. and they're all on their phones, like getting, blown up, like what's going on, which that had to be hard.
It had to be hard, but I still cannot for the life of me understand why she would film sitting her daughters down and talking to them about that. I know you're on a reality TV show, but this is something that I think is so private and personal.
It is private and personal.
And I do think it was staged.
Well, I mean, it was staged in the fact that they knew what they were going to be talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, it was after the People magazine broke and
Right.
they were all at the house together and there was cameras there. I mean, but what wasn't staged was Portia's reaction, and I think that the girls were all crying.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the reactions were real.
So now wait, so if Morgan broke the story to People and Kyle didn't know.
Well, right, because that's the other thing I thought was interesting. Kyle said that Mo was more focused on who broke the story to People. That's what Mo's focus was when the whole thing came out. And Kyle's focus was on how everyone was taking the news, like her family.
Right.
I think that's interesting.
I think that's interesting too, but if Morgan broke the story, would you continue a friendship with her if she did that to you behind your back? That would be the only reason I wouldn't think Morgan did it. Because I don't think I could continue a friendship with someone
who did that. But I don't know if she did do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if she did do it, but that's a theory that's out there.
Right. And then Kyle says that things have happened that made her lose her trust.
Right.
So he must have cheated. Did you see recently, and I'm sure we saw it when it first filmed, one of their white parties years ago in the backyard of their old house, Mo was dancing with one of their daughters, and some blonde woman goes to dance with him, and Kyle goes up and rips her off of him and says, "Stay away from my husband, stay away from my husband, stay away from my husband," as she's ripping the woman off of him.
No.
And the daughter, I think it's Alexia, the tallest, and she's looking at her like, "Mom, what are you doing?" It's floating around on Instagram right now. And when I saw it, I'm like, I think I saw that when it actually happened years ago. Because we always see her white parties.
Yeah.
But he was doing nothing wrong. He was dancing with his daughter, but that doesn't mean he doesn't do anything wrong.
Right. Right. I mean,
but she went off. I would have too. She was Jersey that night.
Well, listen, she was protecting her man.
Exactly.
And they've been together a long time. Like, this is not easy. Mm-mm. I mean, they have 4 daughters together. It's a lot. And like she said, he was always there. She could always count on him.
Yeah.
And I'm sure she turned a blind eye to a lot of stuff, but I think there's a point in time where you're like, enough is enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Enough is enough, because
especially if he's traveling all over the place.
Right.
I mean, if he really is cheating. I still say, though, I just don't, unless they're paying off a lot of women, why has nobody come out and said, I screwed Mo?
I don't know. That's a good point.
Unless they're paying them off, which they clearly they have the means to do. So,
yeah,
we'll
maybe
see.
they make them sign an NDA. Because I was listening to one of the celebrities, like they make people sign these NDAs
before they have sex with them.
Yes, yes, yes. Like yes.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Can you imagine?
Just in case I ever
like
find
how
myself
romantic
in that
is that?
Position. Exactly.
I don't know. I mean, I guess if you've lived this life,
I know.
You know to have one with you.
It's such an alternate universe than what we live.
Make sure you have condoms and an NDA.
That's right.
At all times.
Protect yourself.
Exactly.
In all areas.
Exactly. You need to be safe.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I just think it's sad. I mean, I'm still rooting for them.
I'm still rooting for them. And honestly, I do think they'll make it. I do.
You do?
I do.
All right.
I don't know if I was hardcore that it was fake in the beginning.
I know you were.
I still have my doubts. I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
But I'm starting to see that, maybe something's going on. But I don't think they're going to get divorced. I really don't. I think they're going to find their way. He's going to talk about it on Buying Beverly Hills.
I saw that. I thought it was out already, but it must have been in the trailer because I went to watch Buying Beverly Hills today. It's not March 22nd, I think it comes out. I went to watch that, but I don't know. I don't know why he's talking about it.
Well, that's what I mean. That's what also leads me to believe, like, is this just a storyline for both of these shows?
No.
But maybe not. Maybe not.
Because then, Kyle said something like, well, we're making this work. And Mo was like, no, we're really not. Like, we've been making this work. Meaning that, I guess at that point, they were already in separate bedrooms.
Yeah.
And the girls didn't know that? Like, how could they have not known that?
Well, I don't think any of them but Portia lived with them.
So how did Portia not know?
I mean, listen, I know people, I'm sure it is. And I know people who have big homes, don't get me wrong, but they also have separate bedrooms because one snores
right.
And they're happily married.
Yeah,
There's no separation in sight.
There's times I would like a separate bedroom, actually.
God, I can't fucking wait until one of my kids moves out. I got it all planned out. I'm putting a day bed in. I'm putting a vanity. I'm putting my clothes in there.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's going to be your little dressing room.
It is.
That'll be nice.
And then Eric can have the whole basement.
There you go.
Yeah,
perfect.
I mean, he already does, but I just want that room.
All right, so I guess we're just going to wrap this up until we see what happens at the reunion.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I am curious to see what happens with Kathy. Did you see that Sutton almost passes out when Kathy comes out? I think that's editing. I don't think it has anything to do with Kathy, but it is funny.
It is interesting, yeah. And did you see that they have already shaded Kathy for wearing the same dress to the reunion that she wore to her Christmas party? I love that she did that.
I do too, and I'm not a Kathy Hilton fan, but even Kathy Hilton can wear something twice.
I know, like don't be
crying out loud.
So funny, right?
Yeah, the things that people get upset about.
All right, so
I'm one of those people, though. I just don't get upset about that. Vanderpump. Do they have to show airplanes every time they film it?
I'm telling you, they're practically on the runway.
It's so fucking shady, though. They don't have to show the airplanes every time.
It's probably they took it one time and they just keep showing the same thing over.
Oh, we got to pay attention to that. We got to see if it's the same shot every time. It probably is. You're right.
So they're hosting their first, pool party at their house, and they don't have anything. Like, they don't have the grill. They don't have anything that they need to throw this pool party. So, he goes out, and I'm sure he goes to Target, like everyone else.
Like everybody else.
Goes and buys what they need.
Yeah.
And then Ariana and Katie are getting ready to go to James' party, and they're at Ariana's house, and they're talking about that Lyft driver.
Oh, my God.
That was the craziest thing ever.
It's so funny when Ariana was like, I think a lot of people would like to talk to you right now.
Yeah. I mean, what are the chances?
That is very coincidental.
The same driver that she had on March 1st when she caught Tom cheating was the driver that took them home from the party.
The night before.
Yeah, the night before.
That was insane.
Yeah, crazy. Crazy.
How about her powdering her face when she was talking about Schwartz in her confessional?
It's so funny. I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
I heard people talking about that, but I didn't notice it. Why was she doing that?
I mean, she just looked like a bitch doing it. Yeah. Personally, in my opinion, it was very.
She's not coming off very well.
No,
right now.
Lala said it. People are gonna understand why I said what I said.
And honestly, Katie's not coming off. I know.
Oh, for the love of God!
I know
just
you're not a Katie fan.
I'm not. She brings nothing to the show, and she hasn't in a long time. And you know what? If she doesn't want to go on this trip, I'll be much happier for it.
Yeah. I don't think they are going on the trip.
Good.
I don't think they're going. So then Sheena and Lala pull up to Villa Rosa to see Lisa. And I listened to Lala's podcast. It turns out that her co-host on her podcast is the one who dropped her off.
Oh.
At Lisa's house.
Oh.
I was like, oh. They mentioned it on the podcast, and I can go back to watch to see if we even see that part. But I thought that was interesting.
That is funny.
I don't know. The whole thing with Lisa, talking about what Sandoval said to her and how he was in a dark place and, how I guess she's doing what she has to do.
She's doing what she has to do.
She's doing what she has to do.
She's got guilt over her brother and she's trying to compensate for it.
Yeah, I get that.
She shouldn't feel guilty.
No, she definitely shouldn't feel guilty, but I think it's going to, listen, I think she's putting a lot on other people. I think she's putting a lot on other people. I do, though, think that of the people like Lala and Sheena are going to be receptive to it. And Schwartz obviously is receptive to it because,
Yes.
So I think she chose wisely of who to, to take it to. And
I think Sheena's scared, though, because of Ariana.
She is.
Yeah.
She is.
Yeah.
But
And I get that, but it's listen, I was in a friend group for a long time, 7 years, and then my ex-fiance and I broke up, and it was kind of difficult at first to navigate the friendships after that. But his friends remained his friends, and clearly my friends are my friends. And there were a couple in the middle, but it just kind of worked itself out. However, we weren't filming a TV show and forced to be with each other all the time.
Right, exactly.
So I guess it was much different.
There's that.
But Sheena is probably going to have the hardest time because of how close she is with Ariana.
And because she was close with Sandoval, too.
Yeah, she was.
I mean...
We saw it over the years. We saw it.
I thought that, this shows about Lala how much she has grown, because she really has. She is a different person than when she first started. How she never even thought about Tom Sandoval's mental health.
Right.
She never thought about it. And you know what? I don't think anybody really thought about it, because we all thought that, he's a narcissist and he brought this on himself and he gets what he deserves.
Right.
That being said, then he does stupid shit this week. That brings us back to that.
Oh, my gosh.
That just brings us right back to that.
Holy cow.
I mean, when you go to the New York Times and you talk to them about O.J. Simpson and George Floyd and your situation, scandal, in this...
that revolved around death.
One was a murderer.
Right.
And the other was murdered.
Right.
And you relate that to your own cheating scandal. Like, what is wrong with you?
Like, what planet are you on?
Like, are you that not in touch? It just...
Which leads you to believe... I don't know.
It's hard. It's hard.
I don't know. Listen, if he said he had suicidal thoughts, he said he had suicidal thoughts. No, and nobody should ever question that.
Right.
But you're right.
It just makes him hard to like. It makes him very hard to like. He is like the villain that you have to villainize because he does it to himself.
Yes, yes.
Right?
Yes.
He just makes it very hard to like.
Yep. But he's got Billy Lee.
Yep. I mean, that whole cold plunge with Billy Lee, that was the most awkward thing I've ever seen.
How long do you think it took her to be like, I'll film with you? Because nobody else will film with him.
Exactly.
I got you.
Okay.
The way she was looking at him when he was in that bath.
It was so awkward. It was so awkward. I was like, oh, whatever. I mean, they got what they needed to get out of that scene, I guess, right?
Woo. Yeah. Now we go to the barbecue, right?
Yeah, we're at the bar. We're at the barbecue, and Lala's talking to Allie.
Lala's body is banging.
Oh, she's always been.
I mean.
I know.
I know. Sweet Marie.
Yeah, no.
She always had. I thought maybe like with sobriety, she, No.
I mean, she's been sober for 5 years. Like, even now, she's always had a great body. She's always had a great body.
Yeah.
So she's talking to Allie about how James is doing with not drinking.
Yeah.
And, Allie doesn't really want to share too much, which is good. I think she's, playing it safe.
Yeah.
And so Lala says, all right, I'll talk to him about it, but she didn't want to push him or, And listen, I think that she would be a good sober friend for James.
Oh, yeah. And I think she has been. I think that she knew, though, that something, because he had started drinking again.
Mm-hmm.
We saw it last season. First episode, he was like, I can have a couple of cocktails.
Mm-hmm.
But she knew something had to have happened to get him to not drink anymore.
Yeah, I did think it was interesting, though, that he said to, was it Lisa he said it to? That this time, maybe it was Lala he said it to. The first time he stopped drinking because Raquel,
kind of gave him an ultimatum.
And this time he did it for himself.
Right.
But it was only after she left with the cats.
Right.
So was it for himself or was it because she left with the cats?
Right.
I mean, like...
Maybe he learned from the last time. Like, maybe he,
I don't know. I mean...
Maybe he wasn't willing to chance losing Allie over it. I mean, she does seem very good for him.
She does seem good for him.
She also looks like she's 12 years old, though, and I can't get past it.
Yeah, she's young. I don't think she is that young, though. I think she just looks young.
Oh, she just looks young.
Yeah. And then Lala goes over to Schwartz and she said that, she went hard last night and then they have their little like kumbaya moment.
Yeah.
Which was weird how Schwartz was talking to her. Like, I was really mean to you about your lips, but your lips are so beautiful, but I really do love you. Like, it was just weird, that whole interaction.
I think he's just an awkward guy.
It was very awkward, right?
Yeah. Which is interesting because he was a cheater, right? With
Right.
Katie.
Right.
And to me, like, he doesn't have any game.
No, he doesn't have any game.
So maybe it was just that he was on a show and girls were like into that. He doesn't have any game.
No, he doesn't have any game, but I think there is something about him that's endearing.
Yeah. Yes, for sure.
I think that's what it is.
Yes.
And I think like he's like a puppy. He's
just, exactly.
I don't know, right?
Exactly.
He's just like a puppy.
Yes. Yes.
But again, Lala has grown. She apologizes to Tom for, not giving him grace and not really letting him, speak his piece.
Yeah.
Which nobody else is there apologizing.
No, and they were all hard on him for it.
Yeah,
they really were.
No one else
and
is
whether
apologizing.
he knew or not, he wasn't doing it.
Right.
He wasn't committing the act.
Right.
And that was his boy. And no, he's not going to go tell you.
Right.
What Sandoval's did. No, he's not.
Right. Exactly.
Because that's his boy.
Exactly. And at that point, the night before, he was just trying to get them to come together. And again, it was something that Lisa asked him to do.
Exactly.
And then they're still coming for him.
Yeah.
Like, they're still like...
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't like it.
Let's see.
And then Ariana had no empathy at all when, I guess, Sheena... When they were under that raft, now I've seen it on Instagram, but I wasn't paying attention watching the show. Did it say something about her on the raft?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But the funniest thing is, on Instagram, they're like, this is the closest we're going to get to them opening a sandwich shop.
Yeah,
which is amazing.
I've heard so many things, like Teddy talks about it, like, because she drives by there, she's not far from there.
And
like,
nothing's open.
Nothing is there. And like what they shot for the beginning credits, like that's not even there.
No, they're in someone else's.
No,
I read where they're in someone else's cafe, or did they stage theirs?
No, it was theirs. But then, according to Teddy, she was told that what they had wasn't a code, so they had to take it down. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's true or not.
I don't think they're ever opening a sandwich shop. I think it was a storyline, and now they're just.
Well, listen. I mean, Ariana's in New York.
Yeah.
How are they opening a sandwich shop?
Exactly. Katie's annoying as fuck. Nobody wants to deal with her.
It's so funny you say that. I feel like we're all of a sudden going to hear something about Katie's like story, and we're all of a sudden going to like her.
You think?
I don't know.
You think El Bravo's playing this?
I don't know. I mean, because...
Well, I'll tell you what. I don't know if you ever noticed this, but she has a big scar on her chin.
Yeah, no, she's talked about that.
Yeah. Which is sad that happened.
It was an accident with...
She fell.
Yeah.
Like through a window.
Yes.
And got very badly injured.
Yes. And she was like a teenager when it happened, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, she did talk about that once a long time ago.
Yeah. So we meet Joe.
Yes.
We meet the infamous Joe.
Right. And she's cutting Tom's hair.
Yeah.
On the floor.
On the floor. I did not understand that. Sit his ass in a chair.
It made
I
no
cut
sense
people's
to me.
hair all the time. They're sitting in a chair.
Yeah, like, why are
I'm
you doing...
not sitting Indian style behind you to cut your hair.
It's so weird, right?
It's not productive.
I don't think she's a hairdresser either, by
Probably
the way.
not. I mean, technically, neither am I.
No, it's okay. It's all right. Listen, it was weird. He's now since admitted that they weren't... She never lived there.
She never lived there. She would stay there, though.
She would stay there.
She's adorable.
She's very cute.
Yeah.
And that they're just friends, but there was something at one time, but it's really nothing, and they're just friends.
Right. So I think there was something, and now there's not something.
Right.
But she was cute.
No,
and
definitely.
I'm glad we got to finally meet her.
James, Lala goes over to James's house, and
Yeah.
that's when he opens up to her about everything that's happening and, the whole thing. Listen, the whole thing with Tom, Sandoval, he's still very defensive.
Yeah.
And it's not gonna go well. Like
I think he's still defensive though, because remember, this is only 3 months after this happened, and he's still he is still trying to make something happen with Raquel.
I know.
He doesn't realize what she's doing.
Right.
Talking to Bethany, and or all of that was in the works.
Right. I don't know if it was in the works then, but she wasn't talking to him.
No.
And he doesn't know why she's not talking to him.
So he's going to be defensive of them being in love or whatever the hell he thought it was.
Yeah.
But it's not a good look either way. And then Sheena has a babysitter come and she still calls her sister.
Well, listen, the babysitter did make the comment about the Ozempic.
What'd she say?
Summer Moon had a little needle. Like she was like playing doctor and she had a little needle. And she said something like, oh, what is that, your Ozempic shot?
Oh.
And Brock is like, don't say that to my daughter.
Oh.
And then that's the girl that is sleeping with Tom and Katie.
You said it once before on one of our episodes.
Yes.
And I remembered that when Tori, right?
Yes.
Yes. Because when we first meet her, I don't think she has the pink hair.
No, she didn't.
Now she has the pink hair, and that's her.
Yeah. And I'm like, I get why you don't trust her. Like, no, don't trust her.
No, Tori just wants to be on the show. Tori wants to be on the show. So she tried coming on as your babysitter.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that doesn't work out. So she hooks up with Schwartz and she hooks up with Katie. She just wants to be on the show.
Awkward.
So awkward.
So awkward. And then James says he's going to go meet with Lisa the next day.
And they're like, she's going to totally talk to you about Sandoval.
Right. And
like,
he's just like,
right.
oh, all right. And then she brings out Graham
that
Cracker.
Was adorable.
He cried.
Yep.
He cried, and he was like, for a moment, he's like, oh, shoot, like, what's Allie gonna say? But he's
they
like,
have 2 cats?
Yeah. He's like, yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I
I think they have another dog, though, too, right?
I don't think they did. I don't think they had a dog.
Well, they're making it work now, right?
Yeah, and he renamed the dog, which I think is odd.
Yeah, why did he do Hippie?
Bippity Boppity or Hippity I have no idea what he named the dog, but it's not Graham anymore.
I mean, that's weird for a dog. Although I have to say, my kids have always asked for a dog, and I do always go on those adoption sites.
Yeah.
And I know what I would name my dog. Well, I have 3 names.
Oh, I gotta hear this.
Okay. Ruka. It's a Sublime song.
Okay.
Vito.
Okay.
That's it. Because the other one, I always wanted Sunny, but my good friend at work, her son's name is Sunny, so I don't want to name my dog.
But wait, are your dogs going to be boys or girls, or does it not matter? I mean, Vito can't be a girl.
No, Vito has to be a boy. Ruka could be a boy or a girl.
Okay.
Yeah. So if I adopt a dog that's 6 years old and they've been calling her Sally for 6 years, I'm calling her Ruka. and she's going to like it.
Okay.
But I'm not getting a dog.
That's so funny you have your dog names
I do have dog names picked out.
Oh my God, that's hysterical.
Oh yeah, and Eric's just going to have to be on board. Well, he'll totally be on board with Ruka.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's the song about?
Oh.
Is it about drugs and...
I think it's more about sex.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
how do you spell it?
Ruka.
Okay.
So there's a line in it.
It's kind of close to Roku,
It is close to Roku. So there's a line in the song that says, "You're not the only one, but you're the best, Bradley," because Bradley Knowles was the lead singer of Sublime. He passed away, but now his son sings for them, and his son sounds just like him. It's amazing.
Oh.
So we were all at Terry's house. This is before Eric and I started dating, and Andy's friends were over. One was Donnie, one was Gary, and then there was Andy. So they're all singing the song, and it says, you're not the only one, but you're the best. And Andy says Andy, Gary says Gary, and Donnie says
That's
Donnie.
funny.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, God. It's a good song, though. I think it is about sex.
Okay.
I'm not really sure, yeah.
Okay, and our quote, don't believe everything you think.
I like that.
Okay, but wait, there's something else here. Life is all about perception, positive versus negative. Whichever you choose will affect and more than likely reflect your outcomes. So either positive or negative. Yeah, I mean, that is definitely going to affect your outcome.
It is. And I'm telling you, I really gave up negative thoughts for Lent because...
And that's great.
Yeah, one pops in my head, and because I told you I'm a worrier.
I know.
I worry about everything. So if a negative thought pops in my head, I just push it out and start thinking about something else. And it's almost habitual. Like I feel like if I do this for Lent, by the time Lent's over, I'm not gonna.
That would be great.
Yes.
That would be great. Listen, I'm getting a lot of flack for what I gave up for Lent. I gave up peanut butter M&Ms. They are my favorite. They are my kryptonite. I would eat them every day. My son William said to me, he gave up gambling.
Did he?
He gave up gambling.
Good for him.
All gambling.
Good for him.
Yes, good for him.
Not that he had a problem with it.
No. He did not have a problem with it.
Right.
He's actually very. He's a successful gambler.
Yeah.
He had just won $2,000 on blackjack. He cashed out all of his accounts, closed out all of his, took all his money out. And he said, you giving up peanut butter M&Ms is like me saying I'm going to give up multiplayer blackjack hands. I was like, well, is that your favorite gambling game? He goes, no, I've never played it before. I said, but this is my favorite
Right.
candy.
You really are giving up something you love.
He's like, you need to just give up sugar or give up all candy I'm like, I felt okay about what I gave up.
You stick with what you gave up.
Well, I'll tell you a funny story about the gambling thing. So he gave up the gambling, which he did, and he's sticking to it.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I'm going to miss all of March Madness. And he is going to miss all of March Madness. So he just got a free...
That's big.
That is big. He just got a free bet the other day, $25 free bet. And he's like, too bad I can't use it. And Andrew's like, well, it's not using it. It's not your money. He goes, no, it's gambling. I can't use it. And then Andrew goes, oh, well, I can use it. So Andrew picked up William the other night from Jenks. He was out at Jenks drinking, and Andrew stayed up and went and picked up his brother and took him home. So he goes, all right, that will be your payment. And Andrew goes, okay, well, if I win, I win. So Andrew did the $25 free bet, and he won $76 and something change. And then I said, well, did you cash it out? He goes, yeah, I cashed it out. I'm waiting for the money to come. And then he goes, maybe you should take a vig. I said, no, you're not taking a vig. He goes, well, I'm entitled to it. I said, no, you are not entitled to it.
No.
It's your brother. You don't make money on family.
That's right.
You don't make money on family.
No.
But I liked his workaround. I mean, it was a free bet. Like, why should it go to waste?
No, I of course.
Like, let Andrew do it.
Those fuckers aren't giving you anything.
Exactly.
Take that free bet.
Exactly.
For crying out loud. Yeah.
No, he'll stick to it. When he sets his mind to do something, he does it. So he will not gamble.
Good.
Until Easter. And then he'll probably go off the rails.
Are you guys being good about not eating meat on Fridays?
Yes. We are good about their not eating meat.
Yeah. Me too. I don't know what the rest of my family does, breakfast and lunch, but I stick to no meat, and then I make sure I don't eat meat during the day,
Yeah. I mean, you can only control what you can control. They're adults.
Absolutely.
I mean, all right. Thank you for watching and listening to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
Until next time.
Bye. That's good timing.